Welcome back, guys.
Hello again.
Here we are again.
Here we again. It's another Tuesday morning.
Yes, it is. And I'm Cindy.
And I'm Paige.
And this is Mom's the Word, where mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
And today is exciting.
It's very exciting.
We have faces that y'all probably already know.
You have to know. Are you pickle people? Because if you're pickle people, you surely know these two.
Oh, for sure. We'd like to welcome our guests here, Erica and Morgan.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
This is so crazy.
Came all the way from Austin.
Period.
How long of a drive was it for you guys?
Well, with or without traffic.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, so like it was supposed to be a 3.5 hour drive, turned into 5.5 hours.
Oh, no.
Texas drivers.
Yeah.
I was going to say, New Texans. New Texans.
New Texans.
New Texans.
Yes, because y'all are from an island, right?
We lived on an island.
We're not from there.
We're not from there.
We visited.
Oh, okay. For 5 years.
Yeah, but no, we're originally from Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, like DMC area.
I was born in New
Or the
York.
DMV, not the DMC, the DMV.
I have no idea.
I was like, I don't know where either of those are. So
At first, I was like, an island. What?
We lived in Topsail.
Okay, so I know whenever I started following you guys, but I want to know, when did you start content creation and why?
Ooh, you want to take that over?
Sure.
All right.
About 4.5 years ago, one of my best friends died. I found TikTok. It made me happy. I did it. I started cooking. When you're lacking, you got to give.
Yeah.
I was lacking. I started giving recipes. It was fun. It was great. I didn't want to be on camera. So she was...
The first thing I saw was taste tests, and
Yes.
you was not. You were
I
making
didn't-
everything, but
Yes.
you were not out in front.
No. So Morgan volunteered.
Yeah, I was volunteers tribute, and all you saw were her hands, and then me,
And her voice.
and her voice. Yes, exactly. It's very distinct.
Uh-huh.
My
And
accent has grown.
over
You're
time,
New York.
yes.
You're getting a Texan accent.
It's North Carolina
bit.
/ Texas.
But yeah,
It'll rub off on you a little bit.
It's addictive. I
You're around
can't take
it
it
all day.
off.
yes, exactly. And people are like, "Take it off." I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the British accent. You should have seen me in Vegas. It was almost like I couldn't get out of it, and I was trying so hard. I was like, why can't I stop talking in this British accent? But like, if something would happen, I'd be like, oh no.
I know, governor. No.
Love Island happens.
That is exactly what it
and
is. It's
we
Love
can't
Island
take it
UK.
off.
No, it's stuck now.
Exactly.
All summer long.
Yeah.
Or British.
So the videos that I've seen, first
basically.
why I said like her voice is because I would see these people do funny like skits, which they were hilarious, but I loved them because like it was your iconic voice, and they would be like talking to somebody, and then I just would see your daughter, and you would like make these delicious keto things, and I was trying keto in 2020
Weren't
during
we all?
COVID. We were a
all
mess.
keto.
We were a
all
mess.
If you said you weren't, you're lying. No, but yeah, it was keto at first. We were TikTok keto, and then we went to the doctor, and they're like, "Miss Ma'am, you need berries." Like,
My
I don't know
doctor's
what
like,
you're
you
doing.
have actual health problems, so
Oh my gosh.
this is not for you. And I was like,
Right.
Wow.
but what are we
Yeah,
gonna
she
do?
was like, "Girl, eat the blueberries. Like, you're good." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like keto at the time, you couldn't. So then,
and her body like hated it, rejected
Yeah.
it, said, so we
I
were buying
stopped
Oreos.
after a week. I was like, I can't.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're in the grocery cart, and I'm like, we have to change the name because if people see Oreos in this cart,
Yeah.
this
That's
is
not
not
keto.
This is not the vibe.
That's
Like,
not
we're-
cute. I
Yeah.
mean, it's cute for me, but not for everyone else.
Yeah.
So we did a name change, which was
And now you want to do it again.
Oh, you saw that?
did.
I was gonna
I'd be
say-
checking in.
You know.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
because
we don't really
Morgan's
know.
so primarily part of it now. But you were also younger then.
Oh my god, yeah. People think I'm like 17. I'm like, no, ma'am. She's 24. She has a license. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go get a lotto ticket right now. But yeah, no. Before they were like, why isn't she in school? Like,
I'm like, she
shouldn't
been
she be in
out.
class right now? I'm like, no, I'm here.
But it's a compliment because you're like, I do look young.
I know.
but-
I'm like,
I mean,
thank you.
she's also owned her own business since she was like 16.
Amazing.
She was a photographer, and then she had her own art business. And she's just been this like mature
my little
adult.
hype woman right here.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love
like-
it. She
We all
should
need
be.
one.
She should be.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
So I guess she
Exactly.
had a youthful look, but she's been busy working her whole life.
Well, now we do it together
But
full
now-
time. So
yeah.
it's like, it worked out.
I've seen your setup. Y'all are like professionals.
Oh,
Especially
tell me more.
Morgan be in there editing.
I'm like a gremlin.
Yeah,
That's
she's
like my
Virgo.
cave.
Is it just TikTok that you're on?
No.
No,
Okay.
we're on
No.
everything. So like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're doing more like long form YouTubes now, which
People are like,
you get what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
our followers. Our followers say we want to get to know you, and I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Are you sure? I
And
haven't
like how
ventured there.
deep?
And then we do videos of them getting to know us, and we're up at 2 a.m. eating grapes, and they accuse us of being drunk, but we're just gremlins.
Oh my God.
2 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning, the gremlin hour comes.
Is it about people thinking that just because you can have fun at any time of
No.
the hour means that you must be intoxicated?
And you're
or
older.
doing
You don't have
something
little
else?
kids and stuff. Like 2 a.m. I'm like, oh yeah, we're about to have fun.
Yeah, if,
Right?
I was,
Yeah.
if I was besties with my mom,
Absolutely.
and we were up at 2 a.m. eating grapes, watching Love Island, that sounds like the life.
That literally does sound like the
It really is.
Yes,
it really is. I
does.
can't complain.
It's girlhood in all ways.
It really
All ways,
is.
shapes, and forms.
Just like the glitter and everything.
It's
yeah.
fun because it's just your guys' natural life that you're sharing, and like you already love to do all the things, and so that makes it really fun and natural for both of you guys. And so I really like that because it's so fun to watch because I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna go try that now.
I love it because now y'all don't just do cooking stuff. You also include like hauls and just like
Yes.
every day in the farmers market stuff.
Ooh, we love the farmer's market.
We're going to the farmers market tonight.
So excited. So excited.
And big people, pickle people.
Yes.
Big.
That was like an
Puppy.
accident. It really is. We did not plan for this.
And then TikTok wants you to just be a pickle person because I've
Oh,
also
TikTok
done
will put
pickle
something on you.
For years, we were chomping on pickles, and people were mad. Stop eating on the camera. I'm like, it's too good. I can't. And they hated it. And then one day, like 15 million views. We want more pickles. And we're like, okay. We'll give you more pickles. We love pickles. Well, I love pickles.
And you find good ones, like you find unique ones that I've never even heard of. But the commentary, I think, is what gets it because like. You guys are the same, but like so different. Like you're hilarious. Like,
it cracks me the hell up.
They're so funny. Yeah.
You guys are so sweet.
I love it because we're gonna be like, oh no, that's a bad batch. It's bad. And
Yeah.
then Erica will come in and she'll eat it and she'll be like, no, that's bad.
Yeah. She's more graceful than I am, I feel like. I'm more of like the hard hitter.
Good cop, bad cop.
Right.
Well, now you know a good pickle.
Yes.
So like I would send my pickles to you.
But here's the thing: a
Yes.
good pickle, according to who?
Yeah,
Just
true.
because we
Everybody's
like
got a different
something
taste.
does not mean like we love fermented, sour, like make your butthole pucker, like, ooh, pickle. And then other people are like, "What is this?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Just give it a chance.
That's true.
Just let it. Just
Right. Let it sink in.
yeah.
Get in your
guys have,
molars.
Be an adult.
You guys went to Buc-ee's and you tried these eggs, right? And I was like, wait, they said they were
wanna
okay.
try them.
No, we tried them. Me and my husband tried them. No, thank you. I would never.
Some batches are better than
Yeah,
others.
you're like,
though.
it's so good. I told my husband, like, they said they're good. I
It's the
hated
stamp
them.
of approval. Oh no.
I literally was like, I cannot. But somebody might like them. But just for me, I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some people feel that way about the pickle guys, and they're like, "Oh, I
Right.
don't like them," and I'm
That's
like,
true.
"Oh, I could eat this whole jar."
Yeah.
Right. It just depends, honestly. It's based on taste buds at the end of the day. We've had a batch of the pickled eggs from Buc-ee's and we're like, ooh,
Rubber.
This has been
yes.
sitting.
That's what I had. They
That's a
were
bad
rubbery.
batch.
They were rubbery.
that's a bad batch.
I was like, no, I'm not eating that
that's
again.
not a good batch.
we gotta go pick you out one. We
Love
gotta do a
that.
redo.
We're gonna have to
bad
go
batch.
to Buc-ee's
Yes.
and find you a good batch, and just with the tweezers.
I've seen a big
Feed it.
thing of eggs there that I want to try now. Like they had the big ones.
Yeah, we tried those too, didn't we?
Those were potent.
Yeah, they're
They
they're in
remember
there.
every pickle.
Pickled egg. Oh.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not a fermented pickle kind of girl. Like I love pickles, but I have tried the pickles that you guys love, and I'll be like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I like
absolutely.
This flavor. But I love other pickles. I mean, now we're just getting on a tangent about
Yeah.
who likes what type of pickles.
No.
But yeah, they do hilarious videos. If you don't know who we're talking
Yes.
about, they do very funny
Yes.
reactions, mother-daughter things. And now we're gonna get to know you a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we want to go more into the nitty gritty. So you guys have a great relationship, mother-daughter relationship. Has it always been that way?
Yes. Yes, it has. We're lucky.
Yeah. So did you always want children?
Yes.
Okay.
But I did not give birth to this child.
Oh.
No. I
did not-
actually acquired her when she was 13 years of age.
I did
So,
not know that.
I
Okay.
do
So
believe
she-
that is news to many.
It's actually
Yes,
news.
it is.
Yeah, because people are like, what's the relationship? You don't look alike. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't birth her, but we don't come out
That's
and
my
say
daughter.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
this is my child.
Absolutely.
we kind of raised each other, though, to be honest. Like, we met at a very interesting point, and like her dad, like, best gift ever. Morgan.
Yeah.
Best gift ever. But
Yes.
Vice versa, honestly. Yeah, vice versa. Honestly, when I was that age, like 12 years old, I was a completely different person than I am currently. Like, if you told 12-year-old me that she'd be doing content creation and she'd be on like line, like all my favorite little YouTube stars were, I'd be like, you're lying. Like, there's no shot in any chance that that would ever happen. I was very introverted, very shy, very quiet. And, you know, I was very blessed in that sense that like my parents provided for me 110%. They put a roof over my head, food in my mouth, clothes on my back, and things like that. But when I met Erica, I was 12 and I was like really insecure and really shy and like emotionally just was not as mature and mentally not as mature, just based on things that, you know, have happened in life, past situations. It's the past.
Yeah.
But when we met each other, it was like this moment that just like sparked. It was like I've known her forever. Like she's
I mean,
adapted
do you want to
into
tell
my
them about
role.
the first time we met? I thought you were going to throat punch me.
Oh my God.
Let's
Yes,
hear
I
it.
would
Let's
love to
hear
Do
it.
hear
not
it.
even pushing boundaries.
Yes.
When you meet someone, show them the real
From
you,
day
like
one.
up front.
From
Don't hide
day
it.
one.
Yeah, you just want to be you, like 110%. No
What-
surprises. So
Oh, she didn't hold back, like, at all. So,
What happened?
again, like, I'm hella shy, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm there, and we go to a crab restaurant in Maryland, obviously, and we're waiting for a table to be ready, but they were like, oh, it's going to be like 45 minutes. And I'm like, oh, chill. Like, that's fine. I'm just going to sit here and just like wait. Again, like, didn't really say anything to her. She was just like doing her own little thing in her own little land. And she's like, Morgan, if you go and mess at the hostess station and start moving around crayons and stuff, they'll sit you faster. And I was like, I said, what do you mean? You're going to go move crayons? And she's like, yeah, watch this. And literally, like, the hostess station was here. I was sitting right here, and she's just moving mints, moving crayons,
Oh
just
my God.
moving menus around. And she's like, how's your day going? You're having a great day? And she's just steady touching all the things. I kid you not. 2 minutes later, okay, we have your table ready.
Oh
you ready
my
to go
God.
sit down?
Yeah.
Life hack, you guys.
Life hack, seriously, take
Fuck
notes.
with the hostess.
Well, yes and no at the same time. Like, respect your hostess, but
Yes.
also...
we're always respectful.
You were being nice to them.
But we move
Yeah.
things around.
It was almost as if she was
respectfully.
organizing in a way.
Yes, I was helping her.
is hilarious.
The mints
I was
were
like,
not
Miss
color
Ma'am.
coordinated. We had a.
What were you thinking? You're like, what is this lady doing?
I honestly, like, I had no thoughts. I was just like, I just need to get through this. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like, okay, I guess we're gonna go sit down and eat crabs. And I think the whole time, like, we really didn't talk.
I was just staring at her. I mean, she had
Yeah.
played softball. That you had just gotten out of a game. Mm-hmm. You were hot.
Had you been dating her dad a long time at that point? Like, how long did it until you
No.
met her? No, it was quick.
No, yeah, because he was like right off the bat. If she doesn't like you, this is not going to work. And I
Okay.
said, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any time.
Yeah.
I was in my 30s. I'm like, I don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
So then we went to the crab restaurant, and that was my first interaction. And I was like, wow, this is great. I'm like, she's amazing.
Oh my
and it was
gosh.
great. And it was just like,
It kinda broke
ever
the
since
ice.
then, it worked out, and it was been here ever since.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah.
She came to live with us like a couple months after.
Yeah, around
Full
that time.
time. And that's when we really like, I was working like 14-hour days. Like I was in the car business. My like main food source was caffeine. She was like, you know, you have to like eat food, like 'cause
Right.
I need you around, and you're not right. And so like she kind of took care of me, and then like I took care of her, and it just that's kind of how it started. We were just kind of like monitoring each other and
Yeah.
taking care of
Yeah.
each other, and
You needed each other. Didn't even know
Yeah,
it.
and it's crazy how it happened too, because it's like without that time period in I would say both of our lives, like we probably wouldn't be in this position that
No.
we are in currently in this
No.
day, and our relationship would not be as strong as it is.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we just get each other so
Yeah.
much. Like that's my bestie right here.
No,
Like
I love
ride or
that.
die.
Ride
You
or
know
die.
what I mean? Mhm. And
now
I think
here-
at that time period, we were just like both in the place where we really needed each other's support,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
it just like gelled in like yin and yang.
And
It was
you're together
perfect.
forever.
Yeah, exactly.
and her dad like worked nights, so we were together all the time. We would like go to Walmart at like midnight and like pick out matching pajamas. This has been going on for years.
Yes. Yes.
we
We would
would-
get in candy dishes. You know how Walmart has like those big candy dishes
Yeah.
and things
I'm
like
like,
that?
get in there.
Well, it'd be like, we're trying to find a specific candy and like it's not on the top. So you really gotta like
Oh my God.
get in.
I was trying
it.
to
We were
like bring
digging.
her out of that like shell that she was in. So
Yeah.
I pushed her to just do crazy things, she handled it very well.
Good to know. That's first news to me hearing that. Yeah.
What you didn't know is, see, y'all were helping each other in a lot of ways.
Right, exactly. And it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, she's like my biggest blessing, honestly, in my
Same.
life. And I'm incredibly grateful for her and like the role that she plays, because she really helped me like emotionally and mentally like mature and become who I am today, and like just really be my own person and
Yeah.
just kind of evolve into who am I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And without her guiding me and like offering me support and just advice and whatever, X, Y, and Z, and just being like that backbone that
Yeah.
like I was looking for, she just like, I wouldn't be who I am without
I
her.
love that.
And I would not. I mean, Morgan, like, she holds me accountable.
Y'all are so cute. I cannot.
Holds me
It
accountable.
reminds me of me and Julie. So my bonus mom came into my life, and she had just lost her mom, and and I didn't have a mom, so I was this broken little girl, and she was the broken big girl, and so we really saved each other in that sense. And so it kind of feels like, granted the circumstances are different, that you guys have the same.
But the emotional like relation is the same. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's the craziest part about it, is like the universe just like puts you on this path of
Yeah.
like, and you really don't have a choice. Like,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
what it is, kind of thing. And you can either grow from it and evolve from it and adapt to it, or just kind of be complacent and, you know, just think that this is just how it's supposed to be for the rest of your life. And it doesn't have to be that way. Like there can be so many different walks of life and so many different role models that can come into your life. It could be a teacher, a coach, it could be your neighbor, whomever, that can hold such an importance and have such like a big value into who you are and developing and like who you want to be.
Yeah.
And so I'm incredibly grateful for that.
I love, and you guys have been through a lot together, and even in these close years recently, you guys both went through a divorce together, and I know that you're still the child.
Publicly.
Yeah, it was a public divorce.
That's what I'm saying. and
Different.
for both of you. Having each other has probably been really helpful, and like even and for you now that we do know that, you know, you're not her biological mom. That's interesting because you stayed really close to her, and that's awesome. That's beautiful that you guys have that relationship.
Especially as she's divorced your dad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes.
different too, you know, and like not to talk like any
Yeah.
hate on him or any of that thing about that situation, because the past is the past. Like it is what it is. We've moved on and we've kind of developed our
He
own.
gave me my biggest
That's
gift.
right.
I'm so grateful for
That's
him.
right.
So
yeah,
grateful.
yeah, absolutely. And like again, no hate and no animosity towards
Yes.
that and the situation as a whole. It was a complicated situation to navigate through,
Yes.
especially publicly.
And as the child.
Well, yeah.
'Cause you
Well,
were-
see, at
But
that
you
point,
were
though,
still.
Yeah,
but she's
yeah, I
20,
get
you were
that.
22.
Yeah,
21?
around that time
No, you
period.
were 22.
Yeah.
She was 22.
Yeah.
So at that point, like, she could have gone off and chose to live
Absolutely.
on her own.
Absolutely.
But, like,
In this economy. That's my
Word. That's
That's
relatable.
my
we pandemicked together.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
together 24/7 for many, many years. And we took the pandemic pretty seriously too. We were like on a remote island, and it was just an odd time. We stayed home and cooked, and she stayed home and did her art. But that could have like fractured
Absolutely.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for us, we just grew even stronger. Like we know like what buttons to push. We know what buttons not to push. We know each other very, very well. So we are also like, we want each other to be happy all the time. So we
Right. And
Yeah.
also like during that period, I think it's a testament to be like, oh, well, I got your back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to lock arms with you. We're just going to get through it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever happens, like, we have each other and it is what it is kind of thing. And then, again, like, publicly, it was difficult to navigate
Yeah.
because, you know, a lot of people want answers and a lot
Yes.
of people want a story or, like, a drama thing. And
You're like,
honestly,
We
it's
didn't
not...
have any.
Right. Tea.
Give me the
Exactly.
tea.
Exactly. They want tea and they want, like, a deeper insight because, you know, they feel like because they see the family dynamic on the screen that's what it is behind closed doors, and that's what it is in the home life, and it can be drastically different depending on each
Absolutely.
situation. And trying to, you know, be respectful and have respect to everybody's privacy and everybody's boundaries on that is at number one for everything. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, I have family that does not want to be on social media
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doesn't really want
Yeah.
anything to do with like my life, and I totally respect that because this is the life I chose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't choose that life, and therefore I'm going to respect their boundaries and understand that this is their limits.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. You
and,
know what I
and
mean?
you guys don't owe anybody an explanation to anything in your life.
That's my child.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my child.
Yeah. And even the divorce that people want answers
Oh,
for
that's done and gone. Like
Yeah.
it was a very quick.
yeah.
And to be honest, the divorce sucked, but the worst part was our dog dying. Like, to be honest, like, yeah, the divorce.
Yeah.
But
there's no big
Diesel-
story to tell,
Right.
basically.
Diesel dying was like,
Devastating.
Oh my God.
it
Yeah.
was
That was like the heart of the home.
Yeah.
And especially because when going through COVID and going through like being on an island in isolation and everything is closed down, like the dog that was the joy. You know what I mean? Like Diesel be my homie. He's like chill with me outside the studio. He was the
her
shop
shop
dog.
dog.
He was the best. You know what I mean? And he just had such a big personality, and then to just have that kind of diminish, and then trying to navigate life like without his presence, like there,
know.
that's
It's very
difficult,
hard.
and that's different. You know what I mean?
we bought that North Carolina house for Diesel because it had the big yard and it was fenced in, and that house was for him. And so then when he died, we were like,
Yeah.
what are we doing
Something's
here?
missing here now. Yeah.
Let's just say 2022 and 2023 were years of transition.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, what people don't understand is that what is tea to some is testimony for others. And so it's not necessary for you to know everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
no.
like that, Ben? That's
Period.
really good.
Period.
Page, proverb, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Exactly. You might as well put that on a t-shirt. You should get a profit for
So where'd she
that.
get that from?
We were going deep, but that was...
Where'd she get that from?
Stabs. She pulling out from the bag. She said,
I read that earlier.
Yeah, that's definitely on Instagram.
I read that earlier.
Let me
She
not
saw it
claim
as
that
my
as
morning
mine.
quote.
I mean, I'm just kidding. Original.
Yeah. It's like that Michael Scott quote. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And then it's Michael Scott. No, 1,000% though. And it's true. And, you know, in this day and age with social media, like it's so heavily focused in tea and drama and who's ahead of who and who's doing this to whom. And it's like, at the end of the day, like you just need to remind yourself that these are people and these are human beings with emotions and that have lives.
I think they think we're all a reality show. And you know how, like, whenever you get together on a reality reunion, they just talk shit to each other?
Yeah.
That's what they want from us.
We're not partaking.
crave
No,
that.
I'm not in on that one.
No.
Right.
We
No.
feel more
not.
like this world is like terribly effed up. Like there's so much rough stuff happening right
yeah.
now. So for us, it's like, where can we sprinkle joy? Where can we sprinkle
Yes.
goodness to try to take away from that?
Yep.
And that's really what our goal is through our lifestyle channel and through our content is like, we love our life. Like, we're so happy. We're roommates. It's not like Morgan lives with me. Like, she's actually half owner of
Mm-hmm.
CookitErica. She's 50-50 partner. Every decision, everything we do.
As you should be.
She sold her business to do this business with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like our goal is to kind of just sprinkle love and goodness.
And
Like,
you are. And you guys are. Most
try.
definitely.
Oh,
I
thank
definitely
you.
think you are. For sure.
but also being authentic and real.
Absolutely.
Because we're
Right.
also not going to fake it. Like
Well,
this is our life.
people can read through it. That's all I'm going to say.
we can see right through that.
Seriously though,
Yeah.
it's true. It
It-
really
it
is
is
true.
true.
And not only that, I think it also is a cool like thing to do to provide like a like a look at like people and how they can overcome things too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like going through X, Y, and Z in certain situations or going through a pandemic, whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. Like seeing people make it out on the other side, it's inspiring and it's like uplifting to know like, okay, if they can do it, I definitely can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for people who are in that moment of feeling down and feeling like I can't do this. They see somebody who did and they're like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
And it can give somebody the hope to get up out of bed that day.
Right,
And,
right.
you know, some people would be like, you've said what you went through so many times. Like, why do you keep saying it? Because somebody who doesn't know who I am saw it for the first time and they were like, holy shit, I needed that.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Exactly. If you can help one person, then like at the end of the day,
You did your job.
you helped somebody overcome something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that's just the positives of the whole thing.
I love it. You guys are very positive. I'm like smiling the whole time, like, looking like, okay,
I love it. I love
crazy
it.
over here.
I have
love
questions about your relationship with your biological mom. So, do you have a relationship with your bio mom?
It's an interesting dynamic.
Okay.
I absolutely
Understand that.
it's an interesting dynamic.
Yep.
You know, there's lots of love towards her, you know, lots of positive energy towards her. Absolutely, you know. She's my mom at the end of the day and she's family regardless. I do hold boundaries.
Yes.
And I do hold kind of like myself in a position where I know what I want in my life and I know what I want in a relationship in my life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the direction of which I'm going in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do. And I don't at the same time.
I completely
You know what I
understand,
mean?
because
Yeah.
I feel the same way about my biological mom. So I get it. The boundaries have to be very clear in order for her to understand them. How do you find that? Is it difficult for you do you have a relationship with her at all? Do you have to just kind of silently support?
Oh, my job is to support Morgan, and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And everyone in the family knows it. And if you want to talk about Morgan, you're going to have to talk to Morgan. I don't do that.
That's right. That's good though, because you're supporting Morgan. That's all that matters. So
Well,
it's funny.
when Morgan and I, locked arms originally together, she didn't use her voice a lot. So my whole thing with her, our entire lives together, is use your voice. I'm not going to be your voice when we go to the restaurant. I'm not ordering your food for you. If someone asks you a question, I'm not answering that. That is, use your voice. And
It's a good
she's
lesson.
a strong girl now. She
Have you always had those boundaries with your mom?
No.
Because now that you're
it's
a
hard to
grown
get
woman now.
Yeah.
I can't
It's
Hard
imagine.
to keep them even after you want them.
Yes, I totally understand that too. I've been in therapy.
Good for you.
so
Love my
I'm proud of you.
therapy.
Absolutely.
Love him
love
so
therapy.
much.
We do.
He's kind of like the way that like our relationship is he's kind of like that fatherly guide
Okay.
as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like I have my motherly guide and I have my fatherly guide, and this is my son. And it's something to kind of just be like, take people as they are.
Yeah.
And the acceptance portion of it, but also understand that there are certain things that you do not necessarily have to tolerate and deal with, and that you can have a boundary of, listen, like, you're a part of my life and I love you and you're always going to be a part of my life, but I'm also not going to entertain this
Yeah,
at the same
absolutely.
time. And just kind of like have that mutual respect in that sense. You know what I mean?
Do you find that hard as like you are still considering a young adult as you're getting into your more confidence, or do you think that
she's so
that's
good
just
at
who
boundaries.
you are?
My therapist is really good.
Because it's for you to be so
really
young.
good.
Because like I'm in therapy
Yeah.
too, and so they'll tell me like, "Hey, you need to do this," and I'd be like, "Well, that's really nice theoretically, but
I like my emotions.
I don't think I could say it out loud. Could you send them an email? Let them know, because like,
Yes.
I'm not the type that because I'm a people pleaser. I'm reformed people pleaser, but I'm working on it.
Period. And that's the best part. Like the fact that you're putting the steps in to work on it. And it's not a clear cut dry, like point A to point B thing, like there's bumps in between.
Yeah.
And it's just the best way that I look at it as it's stepping stones. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
paving your way of like the person that you're trying to achieve, or like, the energy you're trying to get off at the end of the day. I always lead with positivity because karmatically speaking, I believe that like what you put out is what you'll receive.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, if like I get super pissed off about something, I just let it go. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't, it's not about me. It
So
doesn't
wise
serve
for
me.
she's so wise for how young she is.
You are
I'm like,
one wise
I'm
bitch,
like,
baby girl.
whoa there.
We have a really good therapist.
Yeah, can I get his
Same.
number?
Dude, I'll give you his info.
Is he telehealth? Because
I'll tell you all the details.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
he's the best. He's amazing. No, but like he's really taught me, like, take people for what they are. There are certain things that are going to be elicited when certain topics get brought up and certain emotions get brought up, and you just need to be compassionate in that aspect, because again, like, it's not a reflection of you. There's something that is attached to it, that there is a part of like that comes out, you know what I mean? And just understand that at the end of the day, down to the core of a human being, like, they mean with the best intent, and they may not necessarily communicate it as effectively as they could be. At the same time, though, I also am very conscious of like what serves me and what does not serve me. You know what I mean? But I'm very respectful about it. Like I said, I lead with kindness, and it's just something of, that's fine. And I completely understand that you feel that way, but also I'm not going to be a part of it at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
I love that you're
Morgan,
that mature with this. This
you're-
is amazing.
quite incredible.
Oh my God.
You're really quite incredible to sit here and listen to you talk. We could probably
Well,
just talk
she's giving us
philosophy the
advice.
whole time. Literally, I'm
Remember
over here.
when I told you she holds me accountable?
Yeah.
So I'm like you. We're more wired. We're older. It's like
I just want to make everybody happy.
I work every
I
day at
understand, yeah.
boundaries. Boundaries do not come easy, but Morgan will be like, before you do that, before you type that, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paige.
I mean, and like, listen, like our relationship is not roses and butterflies and unicorns and rainbows. Like it's not. We're people. You know what I mean? We're human beings, and we live together. We work together. We're around each other all the time. There's gonna be situations that come up that you're like, oh my god, I could really strangle you right now.
I just I'm very aggressive. Like I was in the car business for 23 years. I'm very aggressive in the way that I do business.
Blunt.
Me too.
Like like there's no fluff.
Blunt.
I'm like, listen, and she's like,
I'm like,
you're not in the car business anymore.
Mark,
You need that balance, though.
Right. So she puts me in my boundary. I'm like, oh my gosh. But we actually we have a 2-hour rule. We have a 2-hour rule, and we're allowed to be really pissed for 2 hours. But then we've got to come back and have a conversation.
let it go.
Yeah, we'll bring it together and just have a more effective communication conversation. At the end of the day, it always comes boiling down to communication. It's how it's said,
That's right.
not what is said.
right.
You know, it's the tone behind it. So it's like if you come in at me hot, bestie, I'm gonna come in a little
Matching
bit.
energy.
Listen, I'm matching you right now. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like that 2-hour rule gives you kind of time to just.
One of us will creep out when it's 2 hours.
Right, we're like, it's 2 hours. You want to redo it, or are we good to talk? You know what I mean?
Restart the clock.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like our move to Austin, like first of all, whoever told you to move is easy, they're lying to you.
Moving is the worst.
Moving is the
The
worst. Moving across country is the worst, and it really was
I'm quick.
to transition.
I'm fast too. If I know it's gotta happen, just rip the Band-Aid
Right,
off. Just
like,
do it.
like when Diesel passed away, I was like, the bed has to go, and Morgan was like, "What are you doing?"
Same day.
Right, I'm like, "We got to put the bed up."
I'm
She's
like, Miss Ma'am, let it sit there.
Right.
I swear to God, if you touch the bed,
I'm you.
right.
Yeah.
So we moved over
Yeah.
the Texas state line, and I'm like, "Okay, we're here. We're Texas proud." Oh, it's excited, and she's like, "We're not on the East Coast."
Yeah. Well, like I only grew up on the East Coast, so that's all I knew. And then to move to an area where I'm like, this is a big
I literally
shock to
feel you.
my
I'm from
system.
California, and coming here was literally like
A shock. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm
not
born
an
and
easy.
raised in Texas,
No,
so
it's
I would
not easy.
know.
Right.
The weather itself is a
The
struggle.
weather. We moved in 127 degree heat.
We did too. Yes, I get it.
Our poor movers, I'm so sorry.
That
I'm so
sounds
sorry.
like a normal
Roadway.
June day.
Well, now we're used to it. So now I've been here
Yeah.
8 years. You'll get used to it. But
Absolutely.
If I go east, like the cold,
can't do it.
Right.
I'm not built for that shit.
Right. And that's,
Not even a
that
little
was part of the reasons why we moved as well as weather.
My bones.
You know what I mean?
She can't. I'm old.
It's the bones. It hurts.
It's the bones.
She don't like the cold.
No.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like that move was rough
It
on
was
us.
rough on us.
And it was something where it was like I was grieving the East Coast and like
I'm
trying
like,
to
what is your
adapt.
problem?
And your
she's
dog
like,
and the divorce and
Girl,
all the
so
changes.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
COVID happened, which probably ripped you out of high school.
No.
No, girl, I
No.
wasn't.
Were you
She's
graduated
24.
before then?
I graduated in
24. My
2017.
sister's 22.
She'd be 20.
I guess that's right. She graduated the year COVID happened. So.
Yes, that sucks.
But
You know
still
what I
a
mean?
lot to
Yeah.
You know what it
experience.
felt like?
Everything.
It was the divorce, which was abrupt. Diesel dying, that was abrupt. And I feel like we were like holding on to each other. Where are we gonna live? My dad is terminal.
Yeah.
And so we needed to either move close enough to drive or be near an airport where we can hop on a flight and get there immediately. So we traveled for like months behind the scenes. We didn't tell anyone about it. Molly knew because she was helping us try to
Right.
figure out where we were going to live, but we didn't tell anyone. We're traveling. And it felt like for a whole year we were just grabbing onto each other. And so like for Texas, it was like we can just get there and then we can just breathe. If we can just get there, we can just like exhale and like, and it didn't work like that right away. And I'm like, girl, are you good? Like what's happening?
I know, like we had like a lot of sit-down conversations at our dining room table, and she was like, "Miss Ma'am, like, do you not want to be here? Like, I don't know what's going on right now." And I'm like, "No, I do. I just don't know what's happening." To me."
No, I can totally relate. I've felt
I'm
that.
like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I need to call my
Yeah.
therapist.
Yeah, it almost
was
feels
baby,
like
you're grieving.
secluding and like you're alone for some reason. Because when I came here, I felt the same way. And you left your whole life behind.
Yes and no, you know what I mean? Like in this, it was different because when we lived in North Carolina, like we weren't around family as much as we were when we were in Maryland, So having that gap from Maryland to North Carolina. It was already kind of like disconnected in that sense. And then moving to Austin, it wasn't that it was a further gap. It was just like all I've known is the East Coast. Like all I've adapted to is East Coast lifestyle, East Coast like personalities, like the
It's
pace.
different here.
It is. And not that it's a bad thing. I absolutely love it now. I'm like, Austin's my home. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Austin.
They're all so sweet.
They are.
Oh my
We're
God.
very
I've
southern.
never met like such sweet people in my life.
No, like you go, like if you go to New York, the person in front of you is not holding the door open for you. They could give two shits if you make it
They're
through that
busy.
door.
Listen, New Yorkers, we're busy.
Yeah, they're
walking
like, bye.
around. But no, here, like,
How you doing, honey? You been having a good day? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And they let you through, and then you know
Right?
they
Yes.
And where
send you
y'all
on your
live
way
is
with
really
blessings.
nice.
Oh, it's gorgeous. We absolutely love
I
it.
was up in that area when you guys were moving, talking to Molly. My brother's from that exact area. He lives in Kyle, which is kind of closer to where y'all are at. And it's really nice, the area that y'all are in.
Austin's gorgeous.
people
we
are like,
absolutely love
why?
it.
Why did you choose Austin?
Mark would move there
In a heartbeat?
Yeah.
If I let, he's allergic to cedar, and it's like very, very prominent in Austin. So I'm like, you
He'll
can't.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
the allergies are the worst.
Yeah, I can't take allergy meds. It gives me styes.
So she just suffers.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm just going to
Clogs
deal
your
with
oil
it.
ducts.
Bad. So it makes sense
Dang.
that you say that cedar's really bad there
It's
because I'm
cedar.
like, wow.
Yep, the cedar is high in Austin because there's so many trees. There's
Yes.
trees everywhere. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful space. People say like keep Austin weird, and I love that. Have y'all been down to like Rainy Street or anything like that
I
yet?
think we're weird as fuck because the second we got there, we were like, oh, this feels like home.
It feels like DC a little bit.
It felt very DC, but kinder.
Yeah.
Well, keep in mind though, you're in Texas, so that is the most what's the word I'm searching for here?
Progressive.
That's the
And
word.
so there
That's
we
the most
stay.
progressive area in Texas. So
Yes,
when
it
they
is.
say keep Austin weird, it's because they've always been the difference in Texas.
That's
So-
our norm. Austin's our norm. Like that's like our vibe. Like we see purple hair and we're like,
I love it.
purple
Yeah.
hair. Like we
Exactly.
love
You've
it.
adjusted now to Texas.
Oh, we
You
adjusted
found yourself.
a month in. It took her a month.
Aw.
Like 2.5 weeks. Like 2.5.
You were like, okay, I like
Just
it
there.
here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
Also,
pretty normal grieving period whenever you're moving, though. I feel like that's not extreme.
Well, also, like, I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, baby, I need order. Like,
Yeah.
I need the utensils in the drawer. I
Yeah.
need my clothing's like hang up. I need the boxes gone. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be able to feel
Then you
like
could breathe.
this is our space. And then when we moved in, we sold everything. Like,
Yeah.
we came with our clothes, some artwork, and then some like cooking pots and pans that we've had for years.
Yeah.
Everything else, like, we got when we were here. And that navigating, first of all, furniture shopping.
The worst.
You think it sounds fun? It's not.
It's fun to like look, but like when you actually need it,
Yeah, and then they're
absolutely
like,
not.
it'll be here in 6 weeks, and then they call you in 5, and they're like,
Yes.
3 more months.
Exactly.
It's like,
exactly.
well, I don't have a couch.
Right.
I was like, we work from home.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's empty and like the sound was
Yeah.
off in all of our videos. We had to return
Mattresses
a couch
were on the floor.
twice.
It was a whole thing, but we
Yeah.
went through it. And so I think once like the house got, filled and furnished and everything was kind of like boxed up, put away, we're good to go. That's when you can actually explore and like
Yeah.
get to know the area and just kind of
There's
like,
a lot to explore there.
there's so much. We haven't even like tapped into anything,
We,
to be
we've been
honest with
traveling
you.
the whole time we've lived here. We haven't even really been here.
Yeah, seriously.
We decorated the house, and this is the first house we got to decorate the way we wanted to.
Oh, so
It was
fun.
the process was really fun though. Like we got to pick out everything that we wanted.
We
and
have
we're-
very similar styles in that sense, so it worked out. No arguing in a furniture store. It was great.
That's fun.
No, we
Yeah.
were just like I'll be like she brings me in like we'll be in Home Goods and I'll be like
Love a home good.
yeah, I'll be like, oh, we need this, and she's like, we don't need that. But during Christmas time, I have to hone her in
Oh, I'm
because
going ham.
I listen to Morgan because I'll go and I'll be like, oh, that is so cute, but you don't have to buy it. It can be cute and not buy it. And I'll let you continue on my way.
Yes, exactly. No, just keep the receipt because if you buy it, then you can just return it. It's great. I
we
love
don't
the
buy
return
gifts
process.
for each other for Christmas. There's no gifts under the Christmas tree. We don't buy one gift. Like we want experience. We want to like do something
Yeah.
together, go
Yeah.
somewhere. That's the gift, right? So it's like she loves to decorate though. Christmas. everywhere.
Get out of my way, because I'm putting everything up.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, as soon as Thanksgiving hits, it's going up. It's all up.
Oh, yes, the day.
I love
The
it.
day. Once
exactly.
the turkey is hit the fridge,
Done.
the tree is up.
Not even like we don't even have to go grocery shopping yet. November 1st, we're good.
Yeah.
Like Christmas decorations are up. The tree is shining. That's the thing though. When you put a tree up, like it boosts your dopamine levels.
It does.
Yeah.
Your serotonin.
You cannot convince me
Thank
it
you.
doesn't.
Thank you.
So there's nothing that makes me that happy. So-
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, I want to watch Christmas movies, and those just bring me their own serotonin. So it's like,
It feels good. The vibes are good.
yeah,
Yeah,
vibes are
we
good.
love it. We
Yeah.
love the vibes.
It makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. We can't complain.
Did you have any fears whenever when your dad and her divorced that this relationship would tarnish?
No.
No.
You know, like her and I kind of like had a sit down conversation one-on-one when everything happened. And I was just like, listen, like, you're in my life. Like, sorry, you're not going to leave my life. You know, I'm a grown ass adult. And the decision that I'm making is you're an active member and you're fulfilling a role in my life that I didn't have. And I'm not going to go through something without you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, like, decisions that were made, that's between them
Yeah.
and their relationship. And, you know, just because like that ended doesn't necessarily mean that our relationship has to end. And I just like, regardless of the situation, I have respect for both of them in that aspect because, you know, at the end of the day, it's hard. And
Yeah.
it's difficult to navigate through. And, you know, I told them both, I was like, just do whatever is going to make you happy. And as long as you're fulfilling that part in your life, then that's all that matters to me. With her, I was like, bestie, we besties. Like, we in it, ride or die.
We in it together.
We ride or die. Also, like, we have a business together.
I think also
You know what
a
I
lot
mean?
of people they didn't know that he just was never there. Like he worked in another state. When we moved to North Carolina, he chose to not. So like he'd come home some weekends, but like for 5 years it was just Morgan and I there, like on our own. So it's like
Nobody saw the inside.
no one saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nobody
inside.
saw.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there'd be a hurricane coming, and I'm like, dude, you got to get here. Like it's just that, like there's a hurricane,
Yeah.
and then he'd come, and we'd all leave. Because 10 days in of being there, Florence came and destroyed the whole island, and we were like, you know, we just took all of our savings to buy this house, and the house, everything was getting destroyed. We got hit, but like ours was salvageable.
Yeah.
But for 5 years, we were kind of on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just kind of been like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like we're very
Yeah.
open and honest with each other. Like we're very vulnerable in that aspect of like, you know, this is a difficult situation to
Yeah.
navigate, you know, regardless, like publicly, privately, everything, you know. But also like, you know, I'm in it for the long haul, and regardless of the circumstances that were present and, you know, the people that were involved, like you all are still going to be a part of my life at the end of the day. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
And
I
you're
don't know.
you're a full adult then, so that's also a great
It's
thing because
different,
if you were
yeah.
underage, it could have looked a lot different, and that could have been more traumatic. So
Yeah, oh, bless you. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, I think divorce is different on families depending on the ages of the kids. But
Yeah.
she was not a kid.
Absolutely.
yeah, going through it as an adult a lot different than as a child.
Yeah, because I mean, if you'd have been a 13-year-old child who she had just known since you were a baby,
Right.
you'd you know, how
Gotta
do you
do
have
what you're-
access to
I have
her at
news
that
for
point?
you. At that point, she's like, there's
You're like,
no,
nope.
no. This is
my
my
daughter.
child.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It's my child.
Yeah.
Yeah, ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die. And she's my mom. You know what I mean?
If there's a bullet coming,
Right.
I'm taking the bullet.
That's
like
right.
I got you. Like,
and that's the
it's-
thing, like, also, too, like, when people ask, like, what's your relationship? I'm gonna say mother-daughter. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because that's
That
what it
is
is
the
to me.
relationship.
And that's how we view each other. And because of societal standards or societal terms, like, okay, we're not blood related. However, that doesn't diminish, like, the feelings and emotions and the connection that we have to one another.
Yeah.
But also, like, it doesn't diminish, like, my mom and her role and her part of it as well. You know what I mean? Like, respect on both sides at the end of the day. But also, like, if you ask me, you know, in a public setting, in a private setting, in a situation like this, who is she to you? That's my mom.
Yeah.
I feel the
get it.
same about Julie. So
Yeah.
I get it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you totally get it. And it's such a blessing too, you know what I mean? And like to excuse me, to be like incredibly you know, in a position in a time of need where like you're just looking for somebody to like offer you a hand.
Yes.
And to have somebody go out of their way in doing that, like that to me is just speaks more volumes. And for me is just incredibly grateful because she didn't have to do that. Like she didn't have to do half
Are
the
you
things.
kidding
You know
me?
what I mean?
You were like this special human, and I was like, I just want more of this. Like, who are you? This is amazing. Like, she is so pure of heart. Like, she's just such a good human down to her core.
Kids really are too, especially whenever you see a kid who's in need of that, and you're like, I'll just give you the whole world. Why hasn't somebody given you the world? You know,
you were just meant to be a mama. Like you came into her life, and that you were just meant to be her mama. And
I can't have like my own children. Like, so I always knew it was going to be a situation where it was going to be an adoption or it was going to be I would acquire somehow. I just knew because like I used to be like a nanny. That's how I got myself through college. I like well-behaved children that have manners. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I know it's how the parents raise.
That's like a 3%.
No. There's children are children, but like Morgan was a very well-mannered.
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
like from scratch.
Yes.
Like I think she was just born a really old soul. Like she just
That
kinda,
is a Virgo.
yeah, because she's just super like respectful.
I'm not going to say anything about that, but yeah, cosign.
I'm a Capricorn, so Earth signs
God,
bestie.
But no, kids are cool. Like love the kids. Are cool. Right. So, but I knew like I didn't know how I was gonna get a kid. But it's so funny too because people are always like, "Are you sisters? Are you lovers?" And I'm like, "That's my child." Well, what kind? My child. Like
what a weird thing
I would
to say.
never ever
every
be like,
other
are y'all
comment.
lovers?
No, that-
ever.
I'm like, dude, I am so much older than her. I
What
am
an odd
so
thing
much
to
older.
say to somebody.
Right? Like that's my first question. How old do you think I am? Like how old do you
You
think
don't
she is?
look that old.
No,
To be fair,
I
Yeah, I was
love
gonna
you,
say, you
but
don't. You
also
don't.
like
but Morgan looks
That's a
really
big
young
age
too.
gap.
So.
but
Yeah.
that's to you because you look at her in as your child.
That's my
you're
little
you're
human.
maternal. But like, if there was a hottie that was 24, you'd be like, oh, okay.
no,
Paige, you would be doing that.
No,
I tend to
I like older men.
listen.
I cannot.
Oh, girl, absolutely not. I told her because like people ask all the time, they're like, "Are you dating? Are you doing anything?" And it's like right now, like now, girl, like we're trying to work on us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're doing
Self-worth.
our own life. Like we're trying to navigate who we are. And people like all the time try to shoot their shot, and I'm like, let me explain something right now. It will never happen. Just so you know, like online. TikTok, you comment, no. Just so you know.
You're not interested though.
Yeah,
You're not
it's
looking
different.
for anything.
Look at her. She's
ever
like,
again.
no.
She's like, no.
Oh my god! Well, I just walked through the fiery pits of hell. I need a minute.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like we talked about it too recently, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out me right now. Like I'm
Yeah.
living my life.
Well,
I'm
I'm-
identifying me."
Okay, like let's just be for real. I would not be a good partner to somebody.
Yeah.
And I know that. And so I would never put someone else through that. I am a workaholic. And
Well, you're just not in that space right now.
no, like my whole life I've just kind of been a workaholic. That's kind of like one of my faults. I pick my job a lot. I do.
You picked Morgan, so.
Well, I always
That's
pick
true.
Morgan over the job.
Yeah.
That's my child.
Y'all see
That's my
that?
child.
Y'all see that?
Do they do that to you too on the internet? Because they're like, well, you're in your 20s. Why aren't you dating? Like, you're just hanging out with your mom all the
Girl,
time.
all the
Because it's got to be
time.
so frustrating when we're like, marriage kids are like, girl, let me just live.
Right.
And they're like asking me, and I'm like, I don't
Yes,
question her. Like,
exactly.
if she wants
Right.
to tell me something, we have the relationship where she will, but I'm not like,
Excuse
who
me,
are you
ma'am, yeah.
dating? Are
Yeah.
you, I'm sorry, you're not going out enough. Or because they're like, you need to pressure her to go out. No, I don't.
No,
like,
you don't.
that's
Let her
not who
be.
she is.
Baby, I like to sit on the couch, eat some snacks, binge
just
watch a
society.
TV. You know what
That
I mean?
is, it
and
is.
for me,
Society
like,
just
yeah.
thinks it all has to go one way. Everybody needs the
No.
same experiences in order to have it lived life and have
No.
done things. And sometimes people just know what they like and they don't want to do that.
We're going to be
Girl,
traveling
yeah.
in the UK one day, and someone's going to walk up to her and watch her start a relationship with that person. I don't know. It's going to take.
Is it going
I
to
guess
be?
so, guys.
Some
Like,
random-
we're gonna stay tuned. You know
You
what
never
I mean?
know.
Like, who
Like,
knows?
you never know.
I think you're going to go on Love Island.
I would die. No, stop.
Everybody
dude.
tag Love Island.
No.
Love Island
so
UK
fun.
Please
specifically.
don't. No,
That'd be
I would literally
amazing.
say no. No, I don't think I
No,
could do
then
that.
mom would push
No.
you to say, no, you need to go to it.
I would would love
Right,
for her to
right,
go.
right,
I
right.
keep telling Morgan we
We
need to
would
go on the
root you on.
circle. Let's go
Oh
on the
my
circle.
god. Oh my god, that'd be so
Wait,
great.
let's like mess with people. Like let's go on the circle.
Well, she was like, let's go win. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
let's go win $100,000 on the circle.
Yeah,
yes,
no,
you guys should
seriously.
apply for
I never
that.
watched it.
Oh my god, they'd be so entertaining on
I
there.
thought it was the one where they all sit and they just talk about people.
No.
The circle, is that not where they all just sit there and they talk and it's got like Whoopi Goldberg and,
No.
and Adrian?
Whoopi
And
Goldberg.
it's like six
This is
fucking
the
people.
circle's on Netflix.
Yeah, the circle's on Netflix.
And it's like a
Don't
reality
look at
show.
me like that. Don't look at me like that.
That's not even the view
So
either.
you're basically locked in a room. You're in an apartment. You can go work out. You can go to the pool and do laundry.
But you don't like interact with people
I don't
face
even
to
know.
face.
I don't
It's
know.
more of like a you
send
like
text
you text
messages
on
and
a
stuff?
screen. You know what I mean? Like your voice messaging, but like people can't hear
Oh, I
your
could
voice.
do
It's
that.
just
Yes.
right. So then people catfish.
Not talk to
They
people at
do,
all.
but you can come in as you,
Right.
or you can come in
People
as someone else.
Yeah, people tend to be like a catfish. Like
View?
on this most recent season, it's in the trailer, so it's not like a spoiler.
He pulled up the view. She said the circle.
She said Whoopi Goldberg.
I did
was
say
getting
Whoopi
her in
Goldberg.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I don't know. We
Ben,
might
you're
because
right.
we keep making friends off the circle. Like Shuby, Brandon.
Yeah.
We keep making random
You
friends.
should do it. You
I
should
think
totally do
I would
it.
root you on. I'll watch it just for you.
Yeah, you should do it. You should
Thank
totally
you,
do it.
Felicity. Thank you. Yeah, no. Regarding like the whole like dating thing, like no, like honestly, no.
Good for
I'm not in
you.
a
want-
position.
Good
you
for
know
you.
what I mean?
You seem very fulfilled with who you are right now. And I
Yes,
think
right.
that a lot of, well, let me not. When I was younger and I was looking for something, I dated to fill a hole within me. Not because I was actually interested in the company of the person, but because they offered something that made me feel more complete. And I think that you feel very confident in who you are. So you're like, either if you come, you come. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, also like I'm working on it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's always like an
You know.
ongoing process, and it's just kind of something where it's like if something comes along the line, I'm not going to say no unless it's via like social media, because then I'm like,
No, thank
I
you.
can't do
You're
that.
listening to this thinking you're
can't
going to
do
shoot
that.
your shot. You've missed already.
The shot shouldn't even be taken. Like just save your energy at this point now. But like, yeah, it's just something where I'm in a position in my life where I can focus on me. You know what I mean? And figure out like that I want to travel. I want to be able to experience
Yeah.
life. I want to be able to go and do something and go and be somewhere and, you know, not have to have like stipulations behind it or not
Right.
stipulations, but like, you know, you have to like be present
Yeah.
when you're in a relationship
Yeah.
and you have to be
Yeah.
involved. It's got to be like an equal
there-
one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's chores to do.
Right. Right. And in my opinion, like I don't want to participate. you know what I mean? Like
To be
I'm
fair,
still trying to figure out
I don't
me.
usually either. So,
I don't want to be asked what's for dinner.
oh
Ew.
my gosh,
I
yeah.
don't
mean,
want to
I
be
do.
asked.
I love my marriage.
Yes.
Which is
But I say-
no, and marriage is great. Like marriage is wonderful, but like where I'm at right now,
You're like,
Yeah.
no, for me.
we eat
Yeah.
dinner at 9 or 10 o'clock at night sometimes, and it's
Yeah.
not even dinner. We're eating pickles and girls.
I respect it. Absolutely.
Yeah, like
yes.
we live a different life right now.
Absolutely.
A life that we chose, a life that we choose every day, a
Yes.
life that is like
You
fun
enjoy.
and exciting.
Yes.
And as much as we have a plan, we wake up every day and have no idea what the universe is going to bring, and we have to be like, oh,
This is what we're doing today.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're like, you know, this is the good part. Like
Yeah.
we're finally in like the good part.
It feels like
Well, I'm
it's
proud of
meant
both
to
of
be.
you because
Yeah.
it's come a long way. And
Yeah, seriously. And then also like too, like side note off of that, you have to bring somebody into your lifestyle too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's something where it's,
It's a
like, how do
lot.
you even, you know,
we got something
respecting
good going
their-
right now, and I got to bring somebody else in here.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
not only that, but it's like, you know, we live a public life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily that you would be private, you know?
Yeah.
It's somebody would see something or somebody would insinuate something or
Mm-hmm.
something along the lines would come out. And then what happens if there's a breakup? What happens if there's like
Yeah,
a disconnect?
hard,
or like
yeah.
if it's just like they don't want to be involved, things like that. Like there's a lot of factors that go into
Yeah.
the lifestyle that we live in. And it's
Yeah.
a lot. And to have somebody like come up and be a part of it, like that's great. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not looking at the same time.
No,
You know what I mean?
no.
You're not seeking that. There's nothing missing within you where you're like, I need this.
Yeah.
We're literally like, we wake up happy, we go to bed happy. Like, we
I
are
love
so lucky.
Yeah.
We are so lucky.
I love that. Thank y'all. You guys are
extremely mature
yeah,
for
so
your
wise for your age, and I love that. And I know it also has a lot to do with your mom because
Yeah.
you know you've gone through a lot. She's had to see you, and you guys together have formed this positive relationship vibes that you just give out now. And And I love that you wake up happy every day because
And
not
good
everybody
on you.
does.
Yes, everybody
For
should.
pushing
you know?
therapy, especially
Oh,
because
absolutely.
a lot of people
Therapy.
think that therapy is like they're very taboo against it.
Yes.
So
There's-
to put your
yes.
child into therapy and
There's
to trust
a-
an
Absolutely.
adult to talk to your child for a while.
I
is
was
pretty
actually
intense.
the one that wanted to do it.
That's
Really?
great.
You know, and at the time she was like, "You like can talk to somebody if you want
Yeah.
to," and I'm like, I'm in a position where I'm almost there,
Yeah.
but not 100%. It's also like therapy is a really like great asset and tool to have. You just need to make sure that you find the one that you can
Yeah.
connect with, because in my opinion, sometimes it's very textbook.
Yes.
And that's perfectly fine. And there's some people who can connect to the textbook side of things and can connect to like that analytical thing. But I'm
That's not
very
us.
creative and very like emotionally connection is like my thing. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I need you to see deeper and I need you to go deeper with me. And that's who he's the same for us, honestly.
But she's also really good at taking what he says and doing the things.
Yeah,
She
that's great.
really is very, very good at that. And he's teaching her. He's like, she's in a program, like he's teaching her a lot. So she's just really good at like implementing.
Yeah. I love that you found somebody that you think respects you and has your boundaries and someone you connect with because you said a fatherly figure. So Jay, who we're going to bring on also, he's really into therapy. So we're going to bring Daddy Jay on. Yeah, come on, Jay.
Come on.
Oh my God. Okay, so I love this episode.
Oh,
Hold on.
eat the mic. Eat the
Eat
mic.
the mic.
Hello. No, so some of the things that I was thinking about is like I love y'all's bond, y'all's connection, right? And so obviously we're all gagged because we would assume, right? Obviously our mother and daughter, but biologically, right? It's something we are discussing, and so I think it's so interesting. And so for me as an adoptive parent, I thought to myself, I really hope, well, I mean, y'all's experience, you were a teenager, but I'm like with my daughter, I hope that I have that relationship as close as y'all have. And then the thing that I thought was interesting is how you kind of brought her out of her shell a little bit and made her do things to help her, because sometimes I have like a shy son. What can I do to draw it out a little bit and to help?
Shy how?
Kind of retreats in a little bit. And like where the others are kind of silly, he just kind of like hides and doesn't want to interact, but he does, but you have to dig a little bit to get him to finally like engage and stuff. So I think that was insightful.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's more of just like exposure. You know what I mean? Like just exposing the circumstances and situations that can be. Oh, fixing the mic. Pause. Period.
Is he shy at home? Is he shy out?
A little, yeah. A little.
How old is he?
He's 3.
Oh,
No, he's
God.
4.
Okay,
No,
listen.
he's still going into it, but I think that's interesting.
That's okay. That's okay. I've pushed Morgan a little bit out of her what she normally would do by being like silly. I'm kind of silly,
Yeah.
like a silly parent. I'm like I'm an Aquarius. Okay, I don't follow rules. I don't follow. I mean, the law I will follow, but if it's rules and regulations, I live in a weird space of I don't follow that. So I think like with Morgan, I never pushed her too far. I always wanted Morgan to be Morgan. There were times that she was very shy. We would go out to dinner and she didn't want to order her food and she'd point and she'd look at me and I'm like,
Yeah.
no. So like little things like that.
Not only that, like we go to dinner with like some friends sometime and they'd be like, is she mute? Like, is she okay? Like she's super
Yeah.
quiet. Like, does she just not like me? And I'm like, no, I'm
She
just
wasn't.
listening. Like
Yeah.
like I said at the time, I was very introverted. I was very like, I'm a people watcher. I love to watch people and just kind of like see who you are. You
I
know
got
what
called
I mean?
into her school, her high school, and the teacher was like, she doesn't speak. And I'm like, okay.
Is that a bad thing?
And he's like, she needs to participate or I'm going to
Yeah.
fail her. And I'm like,
That was the difference. Yeah, it was like
so-
you kind of have to do a little something.
so I was
something, you know what I'm saying?
like, that's interesting teacher talk. Like, what do you mean? So like, then we had to have a conversation of boo, they won't fail you. You might want to say something.
Right, just say a word or
just
something.
Hi.
You know what I
just
mean?
go in and say hi. That's all you have to do, and nod. And she was like, okay, right. But at 4, 3, like I feel like they're still developing and figuring out, and it's okay. Like some people are shy, and some people. I'm actually like shy, but it doesn't ever come off that way. But when I go in public for the first 10 minutes, I don't talk. I'm kind of like doing one of those, right?
Also, I think it's like an imitation thing, you know. So like I imitated from her, like her goofy, silly behavior in public, and like being able to be in any social setting and just kind of adapting to it as quickly as possible, kind of thing. And I think that can be the same thing for you. Like if you give off that little silly, goofy thing, like in any circumstances, then he'll just go ahead and intimidate you, or she'll go ahead and intimidate you. You know
My
what I mean?
dad's doing it. This is safe to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'd be on a bike in Toys R Us. I would like ride the bike through.
Yeah, like the tricycles.
Yeah, I do silly. I'm
tricycles, yeah.
silly.
We used to do that all the time,
We
yeah.
did. Like I threw her in that Walmart bucket of candy. It was this huge thing,
You
and I'm
didn't
like,
throw me. I mean, I
said,
willingly
"Get up in
went to
there.
look, but you
Get
know
up
what
in
I
there."
mean? Yeah. No, but like, you know, I think looking back on it, you know, she was my safety net. So I knew that if she could do it, but I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, she's the person that like is leading by example in any situation given. And so for me, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be following the leader. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna match you and just see if I can do it, 1, and then 2, like, I've now applied it into my current life. You know, just being goofy and just being like, you don't have to, you know, limit yourself and just kind of like seclude and not present to people who you are and be guarded. Like, you can be open, you can be like active, you can be goofy, you can be silly, all the things.
Also, like we implemented rules with Morgan like really early. So like I'm like, when you go to the grocery store, you need to look people in the eye and ask them how their day is going. They have a rough job. People like don't treat them nicely sometimes. It's your job to bring them joy, period. So we would do like training exercises. Like we would go to the grocery store and she'd have to look the person in the face and say, hi, how are you? How's your day? And then listen to what they say and then answer back. So like that's things that we've always done that we will always do. Like people think it's weird too. Like we'll make a phone call to American Express. We did that today.
We
And,
did. We did.
We'll call up, hey, and they'll, how's your day? People are kind of like,
Yeah.
they don't know what to say. But that's one of the training exercises because I always did that anyway. So it actually helped her kind of come out. So that, you know.
That's interesting you say that too, because my therapist also co-signs that. He's like, when you do that, when you lead with positivity, it shocks the system. They're like, oh my God, how do I react to this? Like, I've never anticipated this. You know, I thought you were going to come in hot at me, but no, like you come in leading with love and leading with kindness, and that's
Always.
what's going to come back.
I love that.
I love that. I think it's amazing. And then some of the things that you like we talked about was, oh Lord, I'm supposed to
Eat the mic. Eat it, baby. Eat it.
There's a camera.
Get up in it. You know,
No,
like,
I think that some of the things that y'all talked about is like what society makes us think about what y'all's relationship should be, right? They're asking about who y'all are.
It's constant. And I'm like, what do you want me to say? She's my stepdaughter? Because she's not. Like, what does that even mean? Like, she's my daughter. And it's like there's an adoptive parent who has 3 children. How many kids do you have? You don't go, oh, I have 2 kids and then I have an adopted child.
Yeah.
These are my children. And so it's such an odd, I don't understand.
And if you do that, you're an asshole.
If you do that,
Do not
just
do
don't
that,
do
yeah.
it. It's rude and disrespectful.
Yeah, because you know, obviously we're adoptive parents, and so when we talk about our children, it's our children.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's interesting, all of the society things that y'all talked about, in specific y'all's relationship, or sometimes even thinking about like your age and your age. Why aren't y'all dating? Why aren't you doing that? And it's like, I like that y'all are working on yourselves, right? Because I
Yeah.
always tell people like you have to be happy with who you are first,
Right.
And that should be where your happiness is coming from. It shouldn't be from your partner. It shouldn't be from your friends. You should work enough where you're happy within yourself. And then whoever comes into your life should bring value, bring happiness, bring something into it. So I absolutely love
And
it.
you should be
Absolutely.
at the point in your life where you're able to do that for someone else too. Bring them value. So if you know you're not in that space, don't do it. And I know I'm not bringing any value right now. My mindset right now is this is my time with Morgan. We're working, we're having fun, we're traveling. We have a lot of traveling plans coming up. The rest of this year we're traveling. My father is dying, Morgan's grandfather. He loved, oh my God, my dad.
loves.
We're actually wearing his jewelry today.
We wear his jewelry
Yes,
every day.
we're wearing his jewelry. Yes.
He's passing. So the last time we went, he's like, "Here's my jewelry," and we were like, "Oh God, this is definitive. What the heck?" But
Yeah, it was like a wake up call. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna wear the heck out of it.
But yeah,
And then to also like follow up with your thing, like this quote I heard from Harry Styles, but I don't think he said it. But, period. But he said, fill up your own cup first and then fall in love with the overfill, or let somebody else fall in love with the overfill. And so for that thing, I was like, ooh, damn, that hit deep. You know what I mean? Like, I love that because, again, a lot of people in this day and age do not focus on the I component. And then they get into, let's say, a relationship or a situation with family or whatever, where like their identity is like, well, who am I?
Yes, exactly.
And then it's like trying to redevelop who you are. And, there's time is always on your side. There's no limit. There's no stipulations. There's no, quota or what you have to meet before whatever. But, yeah. I'm rambling.
Well, I love it. Everything that y'all talked about today was amazing. Y'all's connection, y'all's vibes, y'all's positivity.
Yes.
And so just continue that. It was amazing.
Thank
meeting
you. Thank you guys for having us and like offering us the like ability to be able to come out here and speak. Because usually like we're not really like vulnerable people.
no, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Step
It's
by
a
step.
therapy lesson.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
I'm
but
not allowed to
also-
say I'm not good at vulnerability. I'm working on
Yeah,
vulnerability.
we're
You're working
I'm
on it.
working
I like
stepping
that.
stones. We're paving the way. But also, like, we've never really been given the opportunity to kind of like sit down and have a conversation like this. So I'm very grateful that you guys allowed us to come on and talk too.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
Thank
you
you for
using our
having-
space to do it.
Yes.
Oh, well, it's a very welcoming
Anytime.
space. We love it here. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I should live here. Isn't it? Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah,
This
thanks
was
so much.
fun.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
What a special episode.
Thank you. We love you guys. Thank you so much for having us.
Anytime.
And you guys know, keep those giggles going.
And the love
And
flowing.
until next time,
Mom knows best.
Or at least she's trying her best.
Oh, right. Is that what it is?
Y'all did a great job.